Hello, America, and everywhere else in the world. Welcome back to another episode of Corey Has a Podcast. This is brand new. This is the brand new one. Unless you're going back a couple of weeks and you want to revisit. Hi, how you doing? Nice to see you again. How you been? Take your shoes off when you come in the house. Don't put your fucking dirty shoes on the bathroom mat that I step on barefoot when I come out of the shower. I don't appreciate that. I understand why people want you to take your shoes off when you come into their home. I get it. Because of reasons like that. Because of reasons like, yeah, I do walk around in here barefoot all the time. Yeah, I do drop wet parts of my sandwich on the floor. And I'd like to be able to pick them up and just keep eating them. You know, without knowing that stuff stuck to my sandwich and I'm sticking it inside my body. You know, when something's wet, it makes it easy for shit to stick to it. And I know what you guys are thinking. Ew, you guys are gross. You're gross. You put wet stuff in your mouth all the time, baby. I eat soaking wet sandwiches. Sopping wet sandwiches. But yeah, what's going on? What's going on? When was the last time somebody told you to chill out? When was the last time somebody told you to relax? I was thinking about this earlier today, how much people freak out when you tell them to relax. And usually the only time you're being told to relax is when you fucking need to relax, when you need to calm down. So you should be probably looking at the person who's telling you to relax like they're trying to do you a favor, and you're just being an asshole about it. I feel like anytime someone's said, yo, man, relax, I've just immediately calmed down. Immediately, you know? Every single time it works. Guys, next time you're getting into an argument with your girlfriend and she's yelling at you or some shit because you didn't fucking read her mind and anticipate her needs, just tell her to relax. Works every time. Works like a charm. And then she'll go, oh, you know what? You're right. I'm bugging the fuck out right now. Let me calm down. That's usually what happens when you tell someone to relax, right? Right. I really don't get it, though. I don't get the people getting upset. It goes back to kind of like what I talked about weeks back before I had all these listeners. If you want to go back into the archives, you know, I feel like people are just kind of looking. It's like fake. Oh, you told me to relax? Don't you tell me to relax. And then you're upset because you think you're supposed to get upset. No, motherfucker, relax. It's like when people thought that the word moist was gross. No, it's not. No, it's not. Don't you want a moist brownie with a nice, moist, warm center? Ooh, stop saying moist. Stop pretending the word moist bothers you, you fucking lame-o. Yeah, that's right, lame-o. Did you know that you could drink Drano? I heard people talk about people drinking Drano now. You know, isn't it interesting to think about the things that you can get like people want to get so fucked up that they start trying to do other shit, you know, at the risk of death is typically the risk. The stakes are pretty high. I guess it gives you a rush, you know, it's like going skydiving or some shit. Hold on a second. Let me actually confirm whether or not people drink Drano. Hold on. Do people drink Drano? What happens to your body if you drink Drano? What does Drano do if you drink it? Rapid drop in blood pressure, aka going into shock. Throat pain, severe. These are in parentheses. Severe burns and tissue damage, vomiting, often bloody. Yikes. Man, people really will go through great lengths to try to get a little fucked up. You know? What if, like, healthy shit fucked you up? Like, if broccoli got you high as shit, would more people eat more broccoli and the world would become more healthy? Because you could eat like 3 pounds of broccoli in one sitting for a meal, for 3 meals a day, for 6 months straight, and you'd probably have ripped abs. That's how that works, right? You just get ripped fucking chiseled abs. Look like you got carved out of marble. You got carved out of marble. because you just only ate 3 pounds of broccoli for each meal for 6 months straight, you'd be the healthiest motherfucker on the planet. That's just how that works. So drain cleaner poisoning. It's weird that that's a thing, but everything always exists. I think about this. Shit like that exists because some idiot tried to do it. You know what I mean? Like, you ever see a sign somewhere and you're like, this is a stupid sign. Of course I'm not going to feed the alligators. But the reason that sign is there is because they saw someone try to feed the alligators and they're like, I guess we got to put a fucking sign up about this now because this dickhead tried to feed the alligators. You know, because you look at alligators and I know what you're thinking. You're like, what? They got short arms and legs. What are they going to do? They can't do anything. And most of the time when they're floating around, they look dead. My cat just scared the shit out of me. Sorry, Sally. You know, cats really know how to sneak up on you. Some people make their cats wear bells, not me. Because I feel like it takes away her personhood. No, I feel like like she'd be embarrassed if I put a bell on her, you know? It's been too late. It's too late now. Talk about being set in your ways. Fucking cats are the most set in their ways of any other mammal that I know. So I was taking the train the other day in New York City. New York City, the greatest city in the world. Everybody knows that. And I see this every time I go into the subway. Somebody, doesn't matter what age they are, what gender they are, what the fuck, like, doesn't matter. I see at least a couple of people every time I go into the subway not pay their fare. And people don't hop the turnstile anymore. You know, when I was in high school, I hopped the turnstile once and I got a fucking summons. And I had to bring that shit home to my mom and be like, listen, so I got this summons. Well, how the fuck did you get a summons? I hopped over the turnstile and some cop dressed in regular clothes said, hey, get the fuck over here. And then you get over there and then the guy pulls out his badge and then asks you all these questions like, where do you live? And who's your mom? And you know your mom's going to hate you when you get home for telling her that you have a student fucking Metro card and you still hop the turnstile. I remember the city was getting real fucking cheap. It was getting real stingy titties, you know. It was like giving you this student pass, this student Metro card, but the Metro card would only be for half of the fare, meaning you had to come out of your pocket. Like, I think it was $3 at the time. No, wait. I think it was $1.50 at the time. The fare to take the train or the bus, and you had to pay 75 cents every time you swiped your card because it was a half fare. Like, you couldn't just give teenagers a fucking full Metro card. What kind of bullshit is that? Like, we need to rely on public transportation, and you're still trying to nickel and dime us. It's disappointing, to be honest with you. I'm recording this, by the way, on Sunday night, which is typically the night I release the podcast, but your boy has had a lot going on. I've been super busy. I injured my piriformis, which is, I'm going to say this as best as I can without sounding stupid. It's kind of is it a nerve? Well, hold on. You know what? You don't have to sound stupid nowadays. Nowadays, sounding stupid is a choice. What is a Can I spell? What is a piriformis? It doesn't tell you what it is. Yeah, this shit goes away. Anyway, you can get... Hold on a second, because I need to figure out... Okay, the piriformis muscle is a flat, band-like muscle located in the buttocks, near the top of the hip joint. This muscle is important in lower body movement because it stabilizes the hip joint and lifts and rotates the thigh away from the body. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Except I'm over here doing a movement with my leg that you can't see me doing. But it's a thing. So yeah, I injured myself somehow. I know how I did it. I was doing too much. I'm starting to slowly come to terms with the fact that rest is important. And I know that sounds really fucking dumb to be like, hey, rest is important. Like everybody's like, yeah, of course I know rest is important. And so is drinking water. So is eating your vegetable. Like all the shit that people say is healthy is healthy. You know what I mean? So I strained my shit, and for a while I couldn't stand on one foot without being in pain in my butt. And like the pain kind of traveled from one side of my body from compensating so much to the other side. And then I felt like I was going to lose a testicle because, it just like, I was just uncomfortable, my hip flexors and shit like that. And I just really felt like someone had a voodoo doll of me and they were just squeezing my balls randomly throughout whenever I would move in a certain way. But now that that's passed, I'm going to move forward and be conscious, be more mindful. If something bad happens to you that could have been avoided and you don't take the proper steps to avoid it happening again, then you fucking deserve for it to happen again. Okay? That's just how that works. Now, and I say that to say, if I go into the gym this week and immediately start deadlifting 400 pounds before I'm like fully recovered, then I deserve to get hurt. But I'm not going to do that because I'm smart. I'm smart. I'm also smart enough to know that when I was in my 20s, I was invincible. I know that. Like I'm convinced I could have gotten struck by a fucking vehicle and bounced off the ground and just continued about my day. Now I move in a wrong way and it's like, oh God, I'm going to feel this for like fucking at least 2.5 weeks. And that is, it doesn't bum me out, but it makes me aware that I am not 24 anymore. And it's cool. It's fine. It's fine. I like to believe, like I'll take my body that I just got to be a little more cautious with, and my life experience. I'll take that over my 24-year-old invincibility that came with all the ignorance and recklessness that came with. Although I'm not one of those people that regrets things in my life. Like I don't look back and go, oh, I wish I never did that. I'm happy because all the decisions I made, the good ones and the poor ones, kind of shaped the person I am today. And really, I think I like who I'm becoming. There's times where I might do it just to do it like it's nothing. So I purchased a G-Shock, the watch, the G-Shock. I purchased a G-Shock. It's sporty. And I just feel like if it's good enough for Marshall Mathers, a.k.a. Eminem, Slim Shady, then it's good enough for me. And I can work with it, and it looks pretty sweet. It looks cool. It looks like I could talk to it. I can't. But I'm also not one of those people that likes to talk to my accessories. I don't like to talk to my bracelet. I don't like to talk to my apartment. My dad does this, hey Siri, turn the music down 25%. And it's like, I remember just being able to get up and wind the knob down the other way. And that probably sounds really lame to a lot of people who enjoy that kind of technology, but it just makes me feel a little bit uncomfortable. You know what I mean? Like when you're watching a movie with your mom and there's a fucking hardcore sex scene just starts happening and you're sitting there like, oh, my thumbs are two different shapes, right? You're just looking down at your head. You're like, you know what I mean? Speaking of thumbs being different shapes, thumbs are weird, right? I'm not the only person who thinks this, right? Thumbs are kind of weird, right? All your other fingers are facing the other, like they're kind of like, they're a little bit longer. The thing with the thumb though is the thumb is the reason why we have been able to jump to the top of the food chain. Because all the other animals are too stupid. They don't have thumbs. And although, you know, apes have thumbs. Apes have thumbs. They can, but they just, you know, they're not, their brains are different than ours. They got all the brute strength. You know, we figured out how to make iPhones and shit. But at the end of the day, money is fake, right? iPhones. The most important thing in this world. If somebody said, "Hey, Corey, what's the most important thing in the world to you?" Like, what do you think is the most important thing in the world? And I wouldn't say it was money. I'd say it was, fuck, I guess it is money. To most people. I think because based on most people, the popularity of money is seems to be like the most prevalent. But to me, in my world, the most important thing is quality time, baby. Quality time. The time you get to spend with people you want to spend it with. You do not get time back. You ever in those moments with some friends, especially when you're a little younger, you're in these moments with your friends, and when you start crossing over into being a little bit older and becoming a grown-up. I think you're a grown-up when you're in your 30s. I do. When you start becoming a grown-up, you start realizing that those moments that you have with some of your friends are just kind of like fleeting and they're never going to happen again. Like those really silly, reckless, not necessarily doing crazy stuff, but like just like laughing about dumb shit and not really being concerned with responsibilities the way you eventually have to become. Some people never become concerned with responsibilities. Some people don't give a shit. Some people don't have accountability. And you don't have to worry about those people. We're all basically trying to figure out who... Like, I think if we all knew what was on the other side, if anything, we would all kind of like live our lives differently. That's why they created religion, so you can kind of opine, make assumptions, make guesses about what happens, because people are just so obsessed with death. I am obsessed with living. I don't give a fuck how corny that sounds. I'm obsessed with living every day the way I want to live my life. And if I'm not doing that, I'm gonna fucking figure out a way to do that. Whew, that was the best way I could have said that. You know, I keep on sending you guys my email. You know, Corey has a podcast at gmail.com. And I haven't gotten anything yet, you know? And it's a little bit upsetting because I feel like I want to connect with the people, man. I want to connect. I want to be out here acting ballerific like it's all terrific. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm trying to do. But you motherfuckers don't even want to reach out to the kid. It's all good. I get it. I get it, boss. I was just in a situation where, you know, a fucking... You know when you're somewhere... When you are just chilling and you're having a good time, and then all of a sudden a giant cockroach shows up. They come out of nowhere. It happens maybe every so often. You'll have to deal with one. And if you're by yourself, nobody can really see how much you freak out when you have to deal with it. I don't give a fuck how tough you are. It's a freaky situation. Unless you're like from down south. I feel like southern dudes. What? Did you guys hear that? Cat comes out going, meow. Anyway, I feel like southern dudes just like playing out in the woods and shit, so they don't care. But like, if you're a fucking city boy like myself, once that happens, you kind of start going... you kind of start trying to figure out the best way to deal with it without having to deal with it. And I think TaskRabbit should have an option where you kind of call a guy to show up as fast as possible so he can take care of that. But then again, like, how would that work, right? The guy would have to like live in your building, or the woman. Women can kill bugs too. I just it's one of the things I'm not good at. Like, there's a list of things I'm not good at. It's not a super long list. You know, basketball is on that list. I can't snap my fingers. I can't whistle with my mouth. And I can't turn my head all the way around. Okay? I can't look to my left. You know? So anytime someone goes, Corey, look over there, and it's on my left side, I have to turn my whole body. So that's a thing. But yeah. Yeah, I'm just trying to navigate this thing we call life. You know what my biggest problem with people is when they try to, you ever talk to a motherfucker and they go, hey man, you should come to my meditation class, and then you're like, no thank you. And then they start trying to convince you why you should come after you already politely declined. Like, people can't just accept a polite, like, rejection. That's why you got to turn it on and then be an asshole after that, you know? If you go, hey man, would you want to come to this thing? And you go, that's not really for me, but thanks for the invite. Hey, you sure you want to? And then this person starts getting pushy. Next time someone does that to you, just start insulting their appearance. Even if you fucking don't have a problem with them. Just like pick something that they're wearing. Make a comment on the way they're standing. Tell them they have a stupid haircut. Whatever it is, just make them as uncomfortable as they're making you, right? And then you can make a game out of it, right? You can make a little game out of it. And then they go, well, hey, what's your problem? And you're like, what's your problem? Well, what do you mean? Well, I mean, I said no in the nicest way I possibly could, and you still thought you could convince me to do this thing. I said no, which is the nicest thing you could possibly do. I didn't say maybe, which is an asshole thing to do. Because when you say maybe, unless you potentially have a scheduling conflict, maybe means the time of the event is going to show up and you're not going to fucking come. And now the person thinks you're coming. So you're a piece of shit. Learn how to say no. Learn how to politely decline. There's nothing wrong with it. People get mad. People they take it personally sometimes, or they feel some type of way. What type of way do they feel? They feel some type of way. What does that mean? That means that they feel a little bitter and salty that you didn't show up to their fucking event. Because when they were a little kid and they said, Mom, the tea party is starting in my bedroom in 5 minutes. Make sure you're there. And then 5 minutes goes by and their mom doesn't come into the room. And then they go find their mom sitting in the fucking living room, hand out the window, smoking a cigarette, talking on the phone. And then they're like, but Mom, you said you were coming to my tea party. And then the mom goes, get the fuck out of here. I'm on the phone. And now they just take it out on you. Hey, listen, everybody. Have a great weekend. No, wait, what is this? Monday? Hey, everybody, have an amazing week. Have an awesome week. Do something nice for somebody. And hey, somebody could be yourself. You're thinking about booking a flight somewhere? Book that shit. You're thinking about asking your crush out on a date? Fucking ask them. You know what the best thing that could happen is? They say yes. You know what's another great thing that could happen? They say no. Then you could stop thinking about it and move on. It's a release, right? Take a deep breath in through the nose and exhale through the mouth and have a nice day.